Oh, okay. Interesting. Right. Sorry about that. I don't know if I was. How long was I live? A message came up on screen saying that, in actual fact, if I want to stream to X, no, I'm dead naming it. It's Twitter. I've got to have a premium account now. Really? Okay. So basically, free speech for all, unless you're not you're not Elon Musk, I guess. I'm picturing you rubbing your hand together evilly as you chuckle. No chuckling. Not today. It's been one of those, hasn't it? I also think about it, it's saying it's a minute to go, but I'm tempted to just dive straight in because, well, we've got stuff to talk about. But no, we'll give it another 40 seconds. Hello there, everybody. Welcome along. And time to spread the word that we are live, and we're going to dive into some panel stuff. I think there's enough to last us an hour until Sunday panels go live. But hey, this is where we'll see if there's anything that you want to talk about as well. But we'll chat for a bit, and we'll catch up. We'll see how your plans are doing. What are you up to in terms of your plans for getting ready? Oh, things are a bit glitchy on this side. Is it because of all the windows that are open? More than likely. But yes, a lot can happen in 24 hours. Let's crack on. Well, I have no idea how glitchy that was on screen for you. It was horrific for me, which means, well, it's a typical day for me. Hello, everybody. Welcome along to Talkin Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. My name's Len Sultana, and it's usually a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. Not today. It's cider time. And yes, I have history. I have form. I'm keeping it away from the laptop, but I'm definitely having a drink because, well, a couple of things. First thing, regarding events that took place, about 20 odd hours ago. I don't know what I can say, and there's nothing I want to say, to be honest. So I think all I can just say to all of my American brethren is get out there and vote. Do what you need to do. Support who you need to support, and do what needs to happen. Because, well, we've entered the twilight zone and element of the whole yeah, what was the quote I saw today? The showrunners of the final season of America seem to be kind of entering sitcom territory. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. Do what you need to do. But the other thing as well, and this one is certainly for Comic-Con fans, because as you may have seen, at the age of 53, actress Shannon Doherty has died. Now, I wasn't a massive fan. I was a fan of what she did and a fan of her work. But I was a fan more of her Comic-Con appearances. I saw her a couple of times in the early, like 2010, 2011. And she also did a couple of UK visits as well. And the one thing that always struck me was she was absolutely dedicated to her fans. She stuck around, she did the work, and she stayed past her hour and just spoke to as many people as she possibly could. She was a hell of a lass. She's 1 year older than me, and she went through hell, certainly within the last 5-6 years, with her health. So all I can say, I mean, there's nothing I can say which makes a hill of beans, but I think we all wish her family our deepest sympathies, and we wish all of her family and friends our deepest condolences. Shannon Doherty, who died 53, 1 year older than me. It's no age at all. It's not fun. But there we go. Let's lighten things up. He says that there's stuff that kind of like can also put a little bit of a wry smile on face, as it were. Aaron Neighbours. Yeah, it's getting very glitchy at this end, so bear with me. Hola from San Diego. Hello there, Aaron. How the devil are you, sir? Looking forward to catching up with you. Into the Bluemister. Afternoon all. Not a footy fan, but even I'm settling down with a cold beverage later. Yes, we will get this shut down by 8. Don't worry, we're not going to go on too late, because for those who are watching from this side of the pond, and maybe you are fans of sports ball, go sports team, on your side of the pond, yes, we'll let you crack on and enjoy that. My own personal take on it is I couldn't care less, and the moment that a Premier League or indeed a pro footballer is paid the same as an NHS nurse is when I'll care. We've got our chucker toilet. We've got Toby saying hello. Good morning to you, sir. Leanne D, long time no see. How the devil are you, Leanne? Love you to death. Yeah, let us know how you're doing. She says, hello, all you strangers. How are you? I mean, even Chuck Cook's dropping in as well. How are you? It's been a hot minute. So yeah, it's a shame that we won't be seeing you. I offered a badge to San Diego Comic Con, but couldn't make it happen, so that makes me sad. It makes us sad as well. We miss you, we love you, and yeah, it's only a matter of time till we see you again. There we go. Fandom Ventures is watching. Hello there, Fandom Ventures. Hello, everyone. Good to have you along. And Into the Blue Mister. Running over time on your podcast is known as Sinkeviching it. I don't know how to make that a verb. Sinkeviching in it. Yeah. Yes, that's a little bit of an in-joke for anyone who has been a long time viewer of this. Yes, that was a bit of an epic stream, wasn't it? A bit of a long one. But yeah, taking another slurp because you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Big slurp. Because it's time to dive into this. We have done a couple of live streams. We did one covering Wednesday and Thursday. We did the stream on Friday covering that, but we weren't able to do the stream yesterday to cover Saturday. So we're going to do Saturday and Sunday in the hopes that within the next 50 minutes, the Saturday schedule will kick in. If not, we've got plenty of time to kind of just have a chat and yeah, to discuss what we've got planned. Certainly when it comes to my own personal schedule, I'm running behind. I have got myself effectively 2 days to get myself packed, planned, and final kind of details sorted. Either that, or I will be stitching the parachute as I fall, which, you know what, I've done before, and it's kind of awful. Look, either way I hit the ground, it's just the speed. And I think that deserves to be on a lot of people's obituaries or profile. Yeah, we all hit the ground. It's just depending on the speed. So that's where we are at the moment. Okay, shall we? San Diego Comic-Con. July 27. It's time to look into the schedule for this then and see how we do. Well, as it happens, it does look that my idea of what we could have expected. And are we back? Yeah. What we could have expected. I mean, yeah, all right. I was being a little bit facetious with it. We've got ourselves that mystery panel on Thursday at 6:15, which is still TBA. We have no idea what that is. But my thoughts that it could have been Marvel. I also genuinely thought that it was just getting too full with stuff which could have been happening, which meant that I got distracted, and you know, this is the way it happens. But there we go. Let's dive into Saturday then and look at the schedule, because it's got to be said, after what I felt was a diverse and interesting but not spectacularly strong Friday. And I've been thinking about this. After I did the live stream, I felt I was unnecessarily harsh on the Friday schedule. It's a strong schedule. There's stuff there. There's lots of things and stuff to go and check out. Nothing that's going to kind of really mess with Entertainment Weekly's headlines, but really good and exciting stuff to go and check. After that, however, Friday into Saturday just goes slightly nuts. Let's start with, we'll go with Ballroom 20 to start with. We might as well, listen, all of these are big rooms. There's no messing. There's no getting away from this. Every room is a huge room today. It's mammoth. So there we go. We've got, and of course, jump in with your comments. With D23 happening, it could be Deadpool, but those are scheduled. Yeah, an actual panel for Deadpool? Listen, Kevin Feige is in the hizzle all weekend. He's definitely there Friday. He's definitely there Saturday. So I think he's taking a little bit of an extended week. Could it be a second panel for Marvel on Saturday? For Thursday, sorry. Could be cool. Patrick A. Reed is watching. Hello there, Patrick. It's good to see you. Looking forward to catching up with you, sir. Look, I truly don't mind the quiet today on Friday. Again, that's the thing. It's not quieter. There's lots of things and stuff to do. It just wasn't as headline grabbing as this certainly is. Okay, Ballroom 20, starting at 10 o'clock. 10:45, so we're talking, what, a 40-minute panel? Ghosts, one of the television's top comedy on CBS and Paramount Plus, follows Samantha and Jay, a couple running a bed and breakfast that is habited by ghosts that only Samantha can see and hear. Joined series stars and executive producers for a lively and spirited panel. Discussing the season 3 cliffhanger and upcoming reveals for what's ahead in season 4. If you've not seen Ghosts, it's hilarious. It's one of the funniest shows out there. It's got a real kind of our flag means death kind of vibe to it. It's a really kind of acerbic and really character-driven show. Well worth checking out if you've not seen it. Heaven knows if you are an animation fan, you are going to learn about Ghosts, because you're going to have to sit through this panel to get to Futurama at 11 o'clock. We've got ourselves Matt Groening, Second day visit for him. David X. Cohen, Claudia Katz, and Futurama stars Billy West, John DiMaggio, Lauren Tom, Phil Lamar, David Herman, and Maurice LaMarche, giving a live sneak peek of the whole new season, premiering July 29th. That is Ballroom 20, 11 to 11:45. Directly after that, we continue with the Matt Groening session with the sneak preview of Treehouse of Horror 35, the Scariest 35 Halloween special ever. Matt Groening, Matt Selman, Rob Lezemic, and Tim Bailey, along with guest moderator Kevin Smith in the house. Not his only appearance on stage over the course of the weekend. So he's very much a busy boy over the course of this weekend. We leave Matt Groening and go into the Seth MacFarlane session, except no Seth MacFarlane. American Dad. We've got ourselves 1 o'clock till 1:45. Wendy Charles, Scott Grimes, Rachel McFarlane, D. Bradley Baker, and Jeff Fisher, along with executive producers Matt Weissman, Cara Ballo, and Nick Wagner, talking about the continuing success of American Dad. And that dovetails nicely into Family Guy, which will be having, again, all sorts of talent on stage. Alex Bornstein, Seth Green. Am I streaming to Instagram again because you're choppy? Well, you know what? I think I don't know if it's internet. I mean, it could be internet. Let me know. Tell me if it gets worse. I mean, I'm seeing a poor internet signal thing in the top corner, but hopefully, just let me know if it gets worse. All right. Family Guy from 2 till 2:45. Alex Bornstein, Seth Green, a man so exciting and interesting they've named him twice. Jennifer Tilley, who I'm a huge fan of. Gary Cole, and Mike Henry with Richard Perrell, Alec Sulkin, Steve Callahan, and Carla Vallo to talk about 25 years of Family Guy. So that is going to be a big celebration of the show. Into right. So you've got, if you want to watch or get into the Matt Groening or the Seth MacFarlane stuff, you're going to have to get through Ghosts. If you are a Critical Role fan, you are going to have to go through Matt Groening and Seth MacFarlane. And I can tell you right now, when it comes to hardcore fans, you don't get more hardcore than Critical Role. Yes, some of the heat has died off this particular fandom, but it's still there. Critical Role, fireside chat between 3 and 3:45 in Ballroom 20 with the whole bunch. Ashley Johnson, Marisha Ray, Taliesin Jaff, Matthew Mercer, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, and Liam O'Brien. Moderated by Christina Ariel, which means it's going to be a blast. But again, they will be in the room from the word go, because Critical Role fans come out of the woodwork. In other words, people, this is going to be a camper. You are going to be, I mean, admittedly, I can get some people turfing out after Futurama, Simpsons, American Dad, and Family Guy. But, oh God, is it chopping up again? Sorry about that. That's going to be a busy room. And then it just keeps rocking, man. Apple TV Plus brings Silo Season 2 to Ballroom 20, 4 o'clock till 4:45, moderated by Adam Savage, Rebecca Ferguson in the house, Common, Graham Yost, Hugh Howey, and others. So not confirmed about other cast members, but it's a hell of a cast, and it's headlined by Rebecca Ferguson. Rebecca will be incredibly passionate about this project, and heaven knows it's a hell of a show. If you have not got on the Silo train yet, do it, because it's a brilliant program. And she does a blinder of a 4 and 4:45, 45 minutes to talk about Silo. It deserves more than that, frankly. I mean, they are squeezing everything in on this particular panel listing, because it goes from that into Anne Rice interview with a vampire. and Anne Rice Mayfair Witches. You have got yourself Damien Holbrook moderating with Mark Johnson, executive producer, Roland Johnson, executive producer. Then you've got cast Sam Reed, Delaney Hales, Assad Zaman, and Mara Lepierre Schloop. And also you're going to be seeing some panelists for Mayfair Witches as well, which is the executive producer, Mark Johnson. And you've also got yourself cast Esther Spaulding, Alexandra Daddario, yay, Ben Fieldman, Jack Houston, legend, and Alyssa Girals. You got ourselves a hell of a room. This is a room. Good God. Ghosts, Futurama, The Simpsons, American Dad, Family Guy, Critical Role, Apple TV Silo, Season 2, and Anne Rice Universe. Good God. That's a lineup. I can wonder if I can piss people off the people trying to get to Ballroom 20 again by ADA finagling into first in line. Naughty. That's how we start. Ballroom 20. That's how we start. Jesus. That's a day. Okay. Indigo? Yeah, why not? Starting at 10 o'clock. Again, we have ourselves the My Adventures with Superman screening presentation panel. Jack Wyatt, Josie Campbell, and Brendan Clucker talking the exec producers and voice cast members Jack Cade, Alice Lee, and Ishmael Said talking about season 2 on the way, airing on Adult Swim. It is getting itself a massive fan base, and quite right too. My Adventures with Superman is a very unique take in the Superman legend. Everybody Still Hates Chris, inspired by Chris Rock's experience growing up in Brooklyn. Nothing when it comes to who's actually going to be on stage, but you're talking an all-star voice cast for an exclusive first look at the series and panel discussion. You are talking an hour's worth, so they are going to try and get as many bodies in as they can to talk about this show. But that is Indigo Ballroom. 2 strong shows. In fact, all of these are strong shows. Very dedicated fan bases. Admittedly, a bit of a switch between shows. So, for example, My Adventures with Superman fans not exactly bleeding into the rest. So they'll turf out, and then you'll get a switch over for Everybody Still Hates Chris, depending on who's going to be on that panel. But still, you might have a bit of a feed into the next one. ABC's Abbott Elementary in session, 12:30 till 1:30. Again, strong cast list here. You've got executive producer Quinta Brunson and stars Tyler James Williams, Janelle James, Chris Perfetti, Lisa Ann Walter, William Stanford Davis, and Cheryl Lee Ralph joining EPs Justin Halpern, Patrick Schumacher, Randall Einhorn, and Brian Epstein talking about the new season and indeed previous seasons of Abbott Elementary, a popular show indeed. So, might get a bleed from Everyone Still Hates Chris, that kind of that really kind of multi-camera comedy shows. You'll get a bit of a bleed from there. Not so much for the next. It might get, well, you'll certainly get some fans sticking around, if anything, because of Nathan Fillion is always a draw. But he is going to be bringing the rookie to Indigo Ballroom, 1:45 to 2:45. So an hour's worth of Nathan Fillion, which, you know, we always love Nathan. So that's going to be fun. Stars Mickia Cox, Alicia Dyers, Richard T. Jones, Melissa O'Neill, Eric Winter, Sean Ashmore, and Elizabeth Chavez talking about the 7th season. It's one of those shows that always surprises me when I turn around and say how many seasons is that. It's on 7? 7 seasons for the rookie. Good grief. Indigo Ballroom, 1:45 to 2:45. Tracker. Now, this is a show I'm not entirely sure about. I've never even heard of this one. But series star and executive producer Justin Hartley from likes of This Is Us and Smallville, and the executive producer of the show, Elwood Reed, talk about what made Tracker this season's #1 series and tease what's next for Coulter Shaw, the lone wolf survivalist who roams the country as a reward seeker. So Kung Fu then. Yeah. Again, there's not a great deal I can say about this because I don't know the show. Are you watching it? Have you seen it? Do you know about it? Yeah. How big is it in the States? Is it something that people talk about? Justin Hartling's a good talent, though, deserves a little bit more attention on him. So, yeah, all the best to it. 3 till 4 in Indigo for Tracker. You then followed that with, based on actual events, The Man in the White Van, a tension-filled, white-knuckled thriller from Legion M and Relativity Media delving into the eerie underbelly of a seemingly idyllic 1975 Florida town. Sean Astin. Yay! Well, that'll draw as many Lord of the Rings fans out of the woodwork. Goonies for life. Madison Wolfe, Breck Bassinger, Sky Jackson, and Warren Skills talking about, well, first they were going to be previewing the theatrical trailer and showing clips from the film. Not the first Legion M panel to appear at San Diego Comic Con. It's always good to have them kind of showcasing stuff. And yeah, that could be a big draw, 4:15 to 5:15. Bit of a strange drop in from the rest of them as a theatrical show, a theatrical presentation. In the middle, all these television shows. But there you go. That's what it's there for. 4:15 to 5:15, The Man in the White Van. Between 5:30 and 6:30, you've got Blood of Zeus, the animated series. This is a panel discussion and special video presentation about a hit Netflix series, Blood of Zeus. Never heard of it. Go behind the scenes with the show's writers and producers. A whole bunch of EPs and directors there. And cast Derek Phillips, Elias Tufexis, Matthew Mercer. Hello. He's going to have to move his ass if he's going to be doing the Critical Role thing. Chris Diamanat, I'm not even going to run at that one. Sissy Jones, Fred Taskicor, I'm not even going to run at that one either. Sarah Imlay, Courtney Taylor, Matt Lowe, and Julie Nathanson. That's quite a cast list to show up for that. But yes, Blood of Zeus, the animated series. So you're going to be seeing plenty of animated clips and get everybody all lined up for that one. Yes, another show I've never heard of or know about. So please, if anybody can spread the word about that, please let me know. And then from season 3 sneak peek, all these shows that I'm not entirely sure about. From unraveling the mystery of the night-fairish town that traps all those that enter as the unwilling residents fight to keep a sense of normalcy and search for a way out, must also survive the threats of the surrounding forest, including the terrifying creatures that come out when the sun goes down. No news about who exactly is going to be on stage for this, but it is season 3 on the way and it's Saturday from 6:45 to 7:45. This room, incredibly strong start. And then it gets very niche, and it will be people who want to stick around and learn and see something new. Yeah, obviously, you're going to have some people showing up for the talent on stage. And yes, they will be fans of the likes of Sean Astin. You're going to have the fans of Matthew Mercer, who's going to find out what's going on about that. You're going to find fans of From. But that one's going to be a little bit more staggered, and it'll be a little bit more easy to get into that room as the day progresses. But to get started, it's very strong out of the gate, all the way up to 2:45. So to get into Indigo, I'd say you're looking at a very late night, possibly an overnighter. But yeah, it's not an all-day camper. Maybe for Abbott Elementary, but maybe for Adventures of Superman, maybe. But I'd say that's going to be more of an overnighter. You're not going to be absolutely giving it the hard camp out for Indigo, but still very strong room indeed. Okay. I think it's time to deal with the monster in the room. Here we go. Hall H. Starting at 11:15, once they've filed everybody in, we are talking cast and crew, talking about Superman and Lois, with following a action-packed and dramatic season 3 finale. The Kent family continues their fight against their biggest enemies in the upcoming final season. So not only is this a very strong show to start with, but also it's the final season. So you're going to get people who will want to be in the room to celebrate and say goodbye to the likes of, cast and crew. You've got yourself Greg Berlanti on stage, Todd Helbling from the Flashing Black Sails, Brent Fleischer, Sarah Schuster, and Jeff Johns, all coming on stage to talk about this final season of this show. Incredibly popular and can get itself a nice little draw all on its own. And that's how it starts, 11:15, and it just doesn't let up. Keanu Reeves was on stage the last time I went to San Diego Comic Con 2 years ago to talk about Berserker. He was in Hall H, and it was a big panel. It was great to have him on stage, being so adoring of not only Comic-Con, but also comics, the comic medium, and this thing he had created, Berserker. Since its record-breaking debut in 2021, Keanu Reeves' Berserker has been thrilling readers with its story of the half-mortal, half-god warrior as he battles through the ages. The iconic Reeves and the original Berserker creative team discuss the journey so far and reveal new details on the future of the Immortal Saga across comics, a new novel, the almost inevitable live-action adaptation coming to Netflix, and special surprises. It's an hour's worth, and heaven knows they went all out with that panel 2 years ago. I can imagine more of the same for this. It was later on in the day when they were just getting people introduced to the concept of Berserker, but now people know what it is. And now you've actually been told that Keanu Reeves is in the room. It's going to be a busy, busy room. 12:30 to 1:30. Okay. Then it's Star Trek for 2.5 hours. The fan favorite Star Trek Universe panel features exclusive back-to-back conversations with cast and producers from Star Trek Strange New Worlds and Star Trek Lower Decks. A Hall H welcome to new cast members from Star Trek, it's the Section 31, and reveals and surprises you won't want to miss. Do not hate me. I'm rather glad Picard's not on stage. I love Patrick Stewart, but my word, he is starting to show his age, and he gets a bit meandering, and his mind wanders, and it turns into a bit of an amusing panel to watch where his brain kind of like wanders off. Andrew Dixon did wonder on Friday when Star Trek is showing up. We knew this was coming. We did know it was coming, though. 2.5 hours, though. Good Lord. I mean, heaven knows Star Trek Strange New Worlds is absolutely peak Star Trek. It's amazing stuff. Lower Decks, again, it kind of takes Star Trek in a really fun and interesting direction, and lots of fun with that show. If anything, it takes up where the Orville has taken off, because the Orville started as this nice, loving piss take of the Star Trek universe. And then you actually had one of the original Star Trek showrunners join the crew and cast of the Orville, and next thing you know, it's way serious. It's turned into a full-blown standard Star Trek series without the gags. It kind of knocked the gags on the head. Lower Decks picks up where that left off and really does deliver the laughs. It's a great show. Curious about Section 31, whether it can continue the ball rolling that Strange New Worlds has delivered. Curious to see what's going on. Like I say, I was in the room for the Star Trek Universe panel, and I'm trying to remember her name. I'm sure somebody on the chat will let me know, from the cast of Back to the Future, who is a director of a number of the Star Trek franchises. Really knows her lore, really knows the series, and loves the cast. Did a great job of panel hosting for that. Yeah, very, very cool indeed. And for 2.5 hours, the Trekkie Leah Thompson, thank you very much indeed. Andrew, well done. You get 5 points and a gold star. Congratulations. Yeah, she did a great job of panel hosting that. She she had a lot of love for everybody that was on stage, and she really knew how to engage her audience. Very good panel. I was very surprised. Very good panel host indeed. Excellent stuff indeed. Now this is where people would sort of have a palate cleanser. I know you've talked about, or we have talked about this in the past, where we have the women in entertainment panel, and everyone just goes, ugh, and I just turn around and go, shut up. All right, women show some support, for God's sake, and understand the challenges. But we're not having that this year. This time, the palate cleanser, before we dive into the chaos, is Entertainment Weekly's Bold School. Power players in the entertainment industry share anecdotes and life lessons about how they found their voice and how to pay it forward. Expect, a lively discussion amongst fierce, fearless, female and or binary forces in entertainment. So it is very much the same kind of thing. I have no problem with this panel. I know people call it a palate cleanser, but it's important stuff that needs to be discussed, and I have no problem with it. Anybody who has been there for a long time ago, oh, well, this is where we just close our eyes and give a bit of a snort. We've got a bit of a spinning wheel there. Yeah, it's very much, Andrew Dixon, you're absolutely right. Is it just a renamed panel? Yeah, pretty much. Maybe it is a case of just kind of stop people kind of like skipping past it. No, but you're absolutely right. Choppy. Sorry about this. I can see it as well. It says low power, but I'm plugged in. I've got a signal. Who knows? Knowing my luck, it really is a case of because I've got several windows open. Let's see if I can just minimize one, perhaps, or even kill that one. There we go. Let's see if I get a little bit more of an internet bandwidth there. Right, the chaos. And it all starts at 4:45. Now, this is a preview of the HBO original limited series from Warner Brothers Television and DC Studios, continuing Matt Reeves' the Batman epic crime saga, and centers on the character played by Colin Farrell in the film. Now, Colin Farrell will be appearing on the panel, virtually. In other words, if he's got his phone and a decent internet signal, and it's going to be a very busy particular panel, this one. I mean, you've got yourselves the likes of Kristen Milotti, who plays Sophia McFalcone, Renzi Feltz, Matt Reeves, the EP, Lauren LeFranc, EP, and Dylan Clark, EP. You're going to be seeing lots of clips talking about how it all dovetails into the film, how it dovetails into the Batman world, and Colin Farrell really kind of hyping this particular show up, considering at the end of the day, he's not only the Penguin, he's also executive producer or co-executive producer for this particular show. So the Penguin continuing the DC Studios thing. I thought it was going to be a bookend because I thought 5:45 was a bit late. And we didn't know what was going to be happening later on in the day. I also said, I believe I turned around and said that we will be having Borderlands, because we're going to have Borderlands signings on the booth floor, but no Borderlands signings as yet. I haven't seen any Borderlands panels at all, to be fair, which is a bit weird. Could be seeing something on Sunday. Tell you what, right now, and I don't think we've got the schedule yet for Sunday, will we have Hall H open on Sunday? There you go. Put your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? You've got 10-15 minutes before they drop the schedule. What do you think? Will they launch Hall H on Sunday, get it back open for Sundays again? And what kind of thing could they go on? Penguin, 4:45 to 5:45. You then have 15 minutes. Go to the toilet, run around, get excited, get yourself the best seat you can, because heaven knows it's going to be everyone piling from the back in a desperate hope to get seats from the front, which aren't opening up at all, because that by this point, people will have absolutely nailed their flag to the floor. 6 o'clock through till 7. The panel, which I didn't think was happening, and it is. Kevin Feige comes on stage to talk Marvel Studios, an inside look at the ever-expanding Marvel Cinematic Universe. It doesn't need to say a thing more. It will deliver. It will absolutely dominate. You're looking at I mean, Patrick Reed, I can't believe it's only an hour this year, to be fair. You say that. The Marvel panels always kind of run over, and it is a case of you'd be surprised how quickly they fit things in. The year where you had Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, those were 20-minute sort of like sections each, and he barrels along. He just fits the kitchen sink in an hour. It's something else to watch. It is high octane stuff, and for an hour it is just heart pumping, and that is the reason why people will be camping out for quite some time to get into this room. Is it all day Saturday, all day Friday? You could even be looking at Thursday night if you want to be in the front third. It is a busy, busy room. Marvel Studios, though, 6 till 7. That's going to be a big thing. Like I say, though, you've got a big gap there between 7 and 7:30. People will pile out, which, you know what? If I was Kevin Smith, I'd be rather hurt and bitter about. But be interesting to see what Kevin Smith's going to do about this. I was under the impression that Kevin Smith would no longer be doing Hall H panels because I believe he turned around and said it. I've said it all. There's only so many times I can do the anecdotes. It's only so many times. I guarantee he'll want to talk about upcoming projects. He'll want to talk about things he's got coming down the pipe. He'll talk about he's got his newest flick as well, 4:30 movie. Writer, director, and pop culture loudmouth returning to Hall H. So, yeah, once he's done hawking his ware, get ready to have your cues elaborately aided by the answer who loves the sound of his own voice. You know what? Whoever writes these, I hope it's himself. I hope it's Kevin that writes his own stuff on. But there we go. Andrew Dickinson didn't do one last year. Hall H was staggeringly quiet last year for a lot of things. Kevin Smith did not do a panel. As far as I'm aware, I don't think even he was in the town. I don't think he was in the room because everybody was away doing the strike. Mark Bernardin wasn't around. Everyone was on the picket line. So, yeah, panel with Kevin Smith, though. The man is back, and he is also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Clerks. So it's going to be a busy one. So we've got Michael P., who's really absolutely looking forward to Star Trek and indeed Marvel as well. So he'll be doing his best to be in the room for this. Toby is reminding us Masquerade Ball goes on during his panels. But then again, Cosplay Masquerade and Kevin Smith, it is two slightly different audiences. So, yeah, I think that's where you stand with that one. But no, 3 incredibly big rooms there. Right, let's move on a little bit further in. We've got ourselves a room. Which one I want to see? Room. Room 6. Let's go for 6 BCF. Dragon Prince from 10:30, celebrating season 6 and the highly anticipated video game Dragon Roots Zeta. FanFest will be packed with insights from the new game and beyond. Let's have a look at this. Andrew Dickinson, he was at San Diego Comic-Con. Mark was as well, as his film wasn't affected. Kevin Smith did a He-Man panel and introduced himself as the most famous person at the con. Okay, I missed that. I wasn't there last year. I apologize for any failings in my thoughts on that. Some really interesting and cool panels in the rest of the building. Skybound in conversation with Robert Kirkman. He's going to be doing his bit with also the worlds of Invincible, The Walking Dead, Transformers, and G.I. Joe. Heaven knows the Transformers and the Energon universe is really getting people's attention. So very cool indeed. We are going to be seeing the offsite for the Oatmeal and Exploding Kitten. So Matthew Inman is going to be in the town. This is going to be in room 5AB between 2:30 and 3:30. This is if you are not wanting to dive into any of the other three big rooms. But that's going to be a big room, a popular room, I think, right? Room 5AB for Oatmeal and Exploding Kittens. I'd even say that's possibly in the wrong room. That could possibly do with being in a bigger room. The other panel which has gotten everybody's attention, as far as I could see online last night, is this one, taking place at 5:30 till 6:30. So once you've kind of piled out of the Star Trek panel, you could go and check out some more Star Trek with Alex Kurtzman, showrunner and executive producer at the helm of the Star Trek universe, and Russell T. Davis, showrunner and executive producer, spearheading Doctor Who, coming together to celebrate the power of friendship. The Star Trek and Doctor Who franchises are teaming up to spotlight shared values of friendship, hope, and fandom. Exclusive creator-to-creator conversation about the art of storytelling across time and space. As far as I'm aware, the actual intergalactic friendship day, I think it's like 2 days after, so I think it's July 29th. So you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff over the course of the 2 days going up to it. But no, I quite liked the look of that one. That's going to be an interesting show. Whether you're going to be able to make it from the Star Trek panel into this room, because I can imagine it's going to be quite a lineup, and to get into this room for this panel is going to take most of your afternoon, if not some of your morning as well. So this is going to be a big popular room. Russell T. Davis is always a big draw. So yeah, I don't think you can do both. You'll either have to do Hall H and Star Trek, or you're going to have to do this, Star Trek and Doctor Who. But it's definitely going to kind of split some of the fandom, and you might get some of the Star Trek fans heading over in that direction. I'm really curious about this. If I don't do Hall H this year, it'll be this one. I'll probably go to this, room 60E, between 6:45 and 7:45. Hellboy, the Crooked Man. If anything else, because I'm bloody curious as to how this is going to be. The photos we've seen of the Crooked Man ain't great. It looks really, really cheap. Like almost fan film level. I'm really curious as to what they're going to do with this. I mean, you've got the cast there. Hellboy himself, Jack Casey, is going to be on stage. Jefferson White, Adeline Rudolph, director Brian Taylor, and Hellboy creator Mike Mignola will be talking about this in a panel moderated by Coy Janro, man who also knows his stuff. He's the guy that did the Berserker panel, and I fully expect him to be moderating the Berserker panel, then run across and do this. I would like to be in the room for this one, because I want to see what they're going to do to turn people around from what looked like a really cheap looking panel. Some really strong stuff throughout the course of the day, again, as we saw on Friday, but this obviously dominated by the big three rooms. But you still also have some great looking panels. Series Toys That Made Us is going to be bringing us a new season, an update about the future of the documentary series about the two toys we all know. If you've not watched the Toys That Made Us, the first season especially is fantastic. The Star Wars one and Hasbro, fascinating as hell. Barbie, good grief, what an episode that was. Well worth checking out. Yeah, cool stuff. Jack Cade is going to be kicking around as well. He's going to be bouncing around. I think this is going to be the panel he does prior to diving on stage for Lower Decks on Hall H. So he's going to be running from 6A This is running from 12:30 to 1:30. So you've got yourself Michael Connelly's The Safe Man, starring Jack Cade, suspense legend Michael Connelly, and Jack Cade is going to be in conversation with Variety's Emma Longaretta, discussing how this pulse-pounding detective story comes to life as a hit audible podcast. Okay. Into the Blue Mister. Wait, The Crooked Man, the one illustrated by Richard Corbin. Yes, it is. So there we go. Yeah, what's this? Andrew Dixon. I like train wrecks. What are we on about? I do love Andrew Dixon's comments. He likes throwing comments in with no context. I have no idea what he's on about. What do you mean train wrecks? Now then, there was a distillery panel on the Friday, but no Tula Lote on stage. It was kind of like the talent of distillery. s11e is going to be on stage now. I saw a Q&A, and I saw certainly a live draw with Becky Cloonan and Tula Lote when they kind of launched distillery at Thor Bubble last year. Oh, heaven knows the pair can paint. They know how to handle a brush, but they're going to be talking about this book, and it's going to be something else. Right. Okay, Andrew, I get you. So that could be interesting if you really love some really in-depth artwork being put together by some master artists. Will Dennis on stage as well to talk about the work of s11e, along with colorist Lee Luffridge. We're talking of like a 3-issue prestige book, but it certainly got a lot of people's attention, and it was the book that absolutely got distillery on the map. So I understand it, especially considering that we are talking Eisner nominated as well. Spotlight on Dave Johnson as well in 5AB between 4:30 and 5:30. But no, you were talking about the train wrecks, Hellboy. This is the thing. I doubt that they're going to go out to make a film that is hard work and it looks cheap. That trailer, however, did not help it at all. So no, really curious to see how that's how that would actually pan out. 50 Years of Trauma in room 25AB. C, 9 till 10. Nice and late. Great way to wrap up your day with Lloyd Kaufman. I'd love to know what he's actually like at the moment. Chuck Tingle's going to be on stage as well. Yeah, some really cool talent on there. Really cool. Is there anything that you spotted in your Saturday schedule outside of the big 3, of course? Is there anything that's kind of caught your attention? For me, it's just lots. I mean, you could literally bounce around the entire convention center, and absolutely, you've got talent pouring out of every corner. It's really just it's so impressive. I mean, this is the reason why we come to San Diego Comic-Con, because my word, it's just absolutely amazing to see all of the talent that's just pouring out of every room. Okay, let's have a look at what else. Any other rooms that anybody wants me to talk about? Anything that has kind of caught your attention, perhaps? I mean, I am looking through and seeing if there's any kind of like panel titles that are just jumping out at me. Okay, I mean, I can talk about a panel which I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit pissed off that nobody told me about. We're talking room 24 ABC. Real or fake? Darren Shulman, co-host of the Shul Brothers Week in Review and Through the Lens podcast. Also, as it happens, a contributor and reviewer for On the Convention Collective. Dan Berry, the Convention Collective senior editor, hosts a panel of stars playing Real or Fake, the game show where the contestants have to decide if a comic character or plot is real or fake. I've appeared on this panel, where I think the first time that Darren did it, and I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, really, really cool. Panelists included Tony Parker, Eisner Award-winning nominated artist, Don Nugent, Pablo the Gorilla and Upper Deck Marvel Anime, Madeleine Caffarel, award-winning cosplayer and the Convention Collective correspondent, Emily S. Whitten, Underfoot graphic novels co-creator. Trish Forshner, artist on Stray Dogs and My Little Pony. And Goldie Chan, Archie comics writer and Forbes contributor. Attendees who play along using X will have a chance to win a Funko Pop. So we're talking 2 of my contributors and my senior editor, and they never told me this was happening. And to be fair, they haven't told anyone. They haven't really promoted it as well as they should have, I feel, in my opinion. Dan Berry put this panel together. He shows up. I'm guaranteed he's probably one of the people watching at the moment. And he hasn't said a thing. He sent me a message when I turned around and said, dude, this is the panel you put together? And he just went, yeah, surprise. Son of a bitch is what I say to him. I mean, admittedly, 8:30, 9:30, it could be it is going to be a really cool little panel, that, especially as you do play along as well. You try to decide what's real and fake, but it's the fact that he never told me. The son of a bitch. I am not going to be docking his wages for this, but my God, you couldn't. Yeah, absolutely. Sneaky boy. I should slap his legs. I really should. Ah, dear. Okay. But that is so Dan. And indeed, Chuck Cook's going, that rascal. What? He's keeping his head down in the chat if he is watching. Dear Lord. What are you like, lad? What are you like? Okay. What else we got? I mean, this. Oh, hang on. Didn't want to do that. And has it taken me back to SAT? Yes, it has. Yeah. Great. If you do not go into any of the big rooms, it doesn't matter, because you can just go around and find so much stuff. It's just this. I mean, yesterday was impressive. Friday was impressive. This is just something else. Very, very, very cool indeed. Very nice. Let me just refresh this page and hope that Sunday has dropped. No, not yet. Okay. Right. Again, some really cool panels. Again, is there anything that's kind of catching your eye? I haven't seen the sort of fandom debate one. There's usually a really good panel on a debate of, just it picks a subject to debate and ends up debating it. Nothing as yet. Okay. Okay. Bad idea. Doing their damnedest to do. Okay, Patrick, we'll definitely promote that in a second. To make themselves the next big publisher. They must be watching the success that Distillery are having and thinking to themselves, what the hell did we do? We did this thing. We kind of did our best to shake up the comics industry, getting some great talent and really kind of using all of our contacts to create something headline grabbing like Bad Idea. And it's been shuffled off into a room 24 ABC. Mastermind Derek Kolstad, creator and writer of the John Wick franchise of movies, modern maestro Robert Vendetti, and visionary artist Thomas Gugliero joined Bad Idea impresarios Dinesh Shamdasani, Peter Stern, Ben Simpson, Brockton McKinney, Benny Potter, Andrew Potter, Atom Freeman, and Joshua Dysart for a first look at what will be the biggest comic book of the year. See what I mean? For the first look at what will be the biggest comic book of the year, Planet Death, plus previews of Bad Ideas, biggest slate yet, and convention collective exclusive giveaway. Patrick Reed telling us Bad ideas making big moves that haven't become public yet. They have been running now for just over a year and a half, and they started the first half of that really kind of pissing people off. So I think they need to get some people on their side, man. I think they really do. But there you go, 24 ABC. Maybe this will be a chance for people to get on board the bad idea train. Directly after it, well, there's this panel that's been running for a couple of years, and it continues to be a really exciting, cool panel. And it is hip hop and comics, cultures combining. Hip hop and comics share numerous connections and exist in constant communication with one another. Rappers and graffiti artists utilize superhero imagery. DJs and producers create universes of sound. Comic creators and animators incorporate hip hop's musical and visual vocabularies. Collectors dig through crates for key back issues and rare breakbeats. Both forms reconfigure and remix elements, blending styles and genres and inspiring passionate fan bases. Here, moderator Patrick A. Reed brings together an all-star group of artistic innovators to discuss the bonds between these two vital creative cultures. This is 4:30 to 5:30 in room 24 ABC. Now, number one, Patrick A. Reed is one of the most passionate storytellers it's been my pleasure to meet. When it comes to all sorts of medias, he wants to inform, he wants to educate, and he wants to entertain. And not only that, but he absolutely loves the mediums of both hip hop and comics. Been running this panel for a couple of years, and he knows his shit. Good guy, and this will be a fun panel. Period. There's absolutely no way of dancing around this one. It is well worth checking out. Yeah, if you get the chance, if you are a fan of hip hop or comics or both, dive in. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can guarantee with Patrick's Rolodex, you're going to have some great talent joining him on stage to talk about the fusion of these two cultures, hip hop and comics cultures combining. Very, very cool. Year 12 for this particular panel. I thought it was running for about 4 or 5, but no, the man's been putting it on for a while, and yeah, it's still a rich well to dive into. Very, very interesting indeed. He is talking about bad idea, though. A major investment announced on LinkedIn and then taken down 2 days ago. Even Rich missed it. This is for bad idea. I'm still not sold. I think they're going to have to do something with it. Leanne is joining us, admittedly only for an hour. She's out. I hope you all have a great Comic-Con. I hope to see everyone next year. We want you back, Leanne, please. So get yourself well. All the best to you and the kiddo. And yeah, lots of love. See you later, kid. All the best to Leanne. Excellent stuff. Okay, very quickly, let's go to, once again, Sunday. It is now 3 minutes past 6, which means it's 3 minutes past 10 on the West Coast, and it's time to dive into Hall H. Let's go into let's go into grid view, shall we? And let's see if Hall H is up and running and what they've got planned. Okay, Sunday. It loads. And it's loading not a lot. Have we got Sunday panels? Hang on. Sunday. Come on. Oh, dearie me. It's this bloody search engine. Sunday. Okay. He scrolls along. We have no Ballroom 20, as we know, and we have no Hall H. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what we can see. Was doing other stuff, so missed the first hour. Well, it was just talking about Saturday, which means if you've kind of done what you need to do and checked it all out. You know what's going on with Saturday. Okay. So let's see what we have got on Sunday. Sunday is usually a great day to check out the rest of the floor, get some last minute deals. We have cosplaying news. Okay, let's tell you what. I mean, I'm looking at Marriott Marquis here, so let's go a little bit more inside the convention center itself first. Okay, room 11 is one that jumps out at me. Distillery live draw with Joel Jones, Jock, and Mirka Andolfo. This is between 12 and 1 on Sunday. Some of the greatest comic artists of the 21st century collide in this once-in-a-lifetime event as Jock, Mirka Andolfo, and Joel Jones draw in real time while answering questions about their process and world building. Trio will answer questions about their current and upcoming books for Distillery, may even draw characters from their upcoming projects and offer some exclusive giveaways. Well, if you can get yourself a Joel Jones or a Jock sketch, you are in for a treat. So congratulations on that. Andrew English still not attending, but watching this strengthens my FOMO. Sorry about that, dude, but that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Room 10, Image Comics, Genres, Generations, and Graphic Greatness. Tony Fleeks, Trish Forshner, Tim Seeley, Ian Bertram, and Declan Shalvey. All going to be on stage engaging in an in-depth discussion on creating stories, connecting with fans that span genres and generations, moderated by Jim Viscardi. That is from 11:30 till 12:30 in room 10. As far as I can see, straight from the titles, we are looking at in-depth deep dives into fandoms and also comics, which is always fun. But I'm not seeing anything really kind of headline grabbing in terms of your multimedia or your Entertainment Weekly fans. This is more for your Bleeding Cools and your comicbook.coms. But still, we got one or two things jumping out at us. Hello, Kevin Eastman making his appearance. This is going to be in room 23 ABC, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. From the first issue to the last run in Cowabunga, the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book, published by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird in 1984. And now, 40 years later, Turtles more popular than ever, starring on television, in movies, and in toy stores worldwide. Join the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Ultimate Visual History author Andrew Farago for a Turtles shell in a celebration with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles co-creator Kevin Eastman and his last running collaborators Tom Waltz and Ben Bishop. You've also got Teenage Mutant Ninja 2 star Ernie Race Jr. and storyboard artist and animation director Larry Houston as they discuss Turtles past, present, and future. Okay, Patrick, I will have a look at that. Michael P. is talking about Room 6B ECF. We will get to that as we go through in a min. Okay. Anything else that's kind of jumping out at me as I go through? Oh, my word. Okay. Room 25 ABC, not the biggest room in the world, but Godzilla Minus One's Path of Destruction to an Oscar win. Jessica Sang talking with special guests about the history of visual effects company that made this happen, and the collective effort of director Takashi Yamazaki's team from Godzilla's Minus One music to the script. This film was hailed as a masterpiece by A-list directors. That's because it is. It's an absolute barnstormer of a film. If you've not seen Godzilla Minus One, you are seriously missing out. Yeah, hell of a film, and that'll be well worth checking out. Okay, nice little Dwayne McDuffie panel, which is going to be taking place, and Joseph P. Illich is going to be bouncing around from panel room to panel room. Room 28DE from 12 till 1, so that'll be well worth checking out as well. Where do ideas come from? Anybody else? Barbara Randall Kessel, who knows her stuff. For artists and writers who get stuck, veteran writer and editor Barbara Randall Kessel talking about rapid fire tips, trips, and strategies for vanquishing those blocked brain cells and deadline demons. That is between 3 and 4 in room 28DE. We are getting there. We're closer to 6 BCF, and we'll talk about X-Men 97 very shortly indeed. Again, we're talking plenty of deep dives, including Needful Things, collecting Stephen King. Spotlight on Maggie Thompson, always well worth checking out what she does, because she's just a legend. Comic book editing, who's it going to be? Who's going to be on stage? Kevin Van Hook, David Wall, Shannon Eric Denton, Chris Robinson, and Joshua Kernson all know what they're talking about. Excellent stuff indeed. Who was Steve Ditko? Who on earth could be on that panel? Annual Jack Kirby tribute panel. Who on earth could be on that panel? Well, it's going to be Mark Evanier, yay, and Paul Levitz as well. You've also got Patrick McDonnell, Rick Parker, David Schwartz, and Tracy Kirby. That's room 5AB from 10 a.m. And the Who was Steve Ditko is going to be, oh, okay, I tell a lie. I thought it was going to be Evanier again. Mark Ditko, Jack C. Harris, and Lenny Schwartz talking about Who was Steve Ditko, who is always a ledge. Right, so let me just go back to 28DE. Major exhibition announced in 28DE's first panel of the day. And while he's in the room, I might as well pump up what he's doing. Over the last decade, comic and pop culture exhibitions have become ever more prevalent, with new venues opening to showcase these creative fields. Existing institutions becoming ever more aware of the vitality and importance of these oft overlooked and neglected mediums and blockbuster exhibitions touring the world. Conversation with Ben Saunders from Seminole Exhibitions and Rachel Pinales from Skirball Cultural Center, representatives of San Diego's own Comic Con Museum, and other industry professionals, which I'm guessing will include Patrick A. Reed, talking about the celebration of the popular arts in gallery settings, providing behind-the-scenes glimpses from major shows, and feature some exciting announcements of upcoming projects. Very quickly, everybody, if you are watching this and you're wondering who this Patrick A. Reed is that I keep mentioning, if you went 2 years ago to the Comic-Con Museum and you checked out the Spider-Man exhibition, which was then went off to all sorts of corners of the world. If you didn't check that exhibition out, number one, you missed out, because it was brilliant. There's no way of buttering this particular bush. Brilliant. Just astonishing, and it really did open my eyes to some really interesting corners of the Spider-Man behind the scenes. Very, very cool indeed. Patrick A. Reed was the guy behind that exhibition. In other words, knows his stuff on this as well. So yeah, he just knows his stuff generally. It's a pleasure to talk to him. It really is. He's always so passionate about it. So there we go. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., room 28DE, a major exhibition panel announced in 28DE's first panel of the day. Is it a major panel, major exhibition which is of interest to the Comic-Con audience? I can imagine it would be. Okay, let's move further on. Things that kind of jump out at me. We've done all that as well. So, room 6A, big room, Woman of Marvel. Talent from across the Marvel Universe will assemble to talk about breaking in as a creative. Building a career in nerd spaces, how fandom has changed and being a part of Marvel's 85-year legacy. Marvel Studios producers and Marvel Comics creators talk about what's next for them and for Marvel. Again, Kevin Feige is in town for the weekend, so could be on stage. You just don't know. We did have someone mentioning earlier on that they do like checking out the voice talent panels. I think it was Toby that mentioned the Saturday and Sunday voice talent panels. More the legacy talent here, but you've got yourself some established names, cartoon voices too. The Sunday one with Mark Evanier rounded up 6 more of the best folks who put words into the mouths of your animated favorites. Debbie Derryberry from Jimmy Neutron, Daniel Ross, Jim Meskimen, David Irago Jr., Deborah Wilson, and Fred Tascacor, all showing up on stage with Mark Evanier. Again, he knows how to run a room. And Michael P was talking about 6BCF. So here we go, 11:45 to 12:45. It is the world of X-Men 97 and the world of X-Men, the original series, or the animated series, the original. Ron Wasserman, who was a composer, Ken Uli, the writer of Nightcrawler, Brooks Rochelle, the writer of Dark Phoenix, Jack Castorena, director of X-Men 97, discussing their behind-the-scenes experience, participating in a Q&A session led by moderator Larry Houston, who was the original 92 producer and director, or one of the producer director. Very cool beans. And for an hour, 11:45 to 12:45, you can absolutely get your X-Men on. Well done indeed. That's thanks to for pointing that one out to me. Star Trek Prodigy. Are you going to be? Oh, okay. Interesting. So you don't have a number of the writers. You could have had some more on there, but there we go. For the Trekker in your family, you can send them away to 6DE for 10 till 11. CBS Studios invites you to a special screening of an episode from season 2, followed by an exclusive conversation with Star Trek legend and voice actor Kate Mulgrew and executive producers Kevin and Dan Hageman to discuss the new season currently streaming on Netflix in the United States and selected countries. DC Book Club, who's going to be on stage for that. Anyone interesting? We've got no names as yet. And I think that's it. So it's your deep dives on your Sunday. It's your deep dives. They could have had Hull H back open again. They could have spread the weekend out a bit more. But it does look that they are keeping it very close and tight and very deep dive when it comes to your Sunday. Again, if panels are not in your particular wheelhouse, you've got the exhibition floor. You've got basically a chance for you to just go around and maybe find yourself a new fandom that you could be taken on board with. And this is really, I mean, it's strong stuff. Let's have a look at this. You've got, this is about the voice panel, one of the funniest panels. Toby, they usually do a script from something and do the lines as the various characters. And Andrew's reminding us like Winnie the Pooh voicing Darth Vader. And I want to say they did Wizard of Oz last year. Nice. So there we go. After an absolutely belting Saturday, this is a way for you to just take a breather and check out some interesting talent. Shame that we've not got a Jim Lee drawing panel in room 2. In fact, it's a shame that we haven't got room 2 up and running. Have we got room 2 at all? He goes back. No, we don't. You do not have a how-to room for this year on a Sunday, which is always a place for me that I went and kind of saw what was going on, because you had the likes of Jim Lee doing an Art of Jim Lee, a sketching panel session. It was a way to wrap up the day. Interesting that. Let's see if there's anyone. Yep, it's very much your creators and creatives really going deep dive into their talent. Always, I'm going to showcase this one because he's been on the panel before. I've been on this show before. And we've got some names on here that I'm a huge fan of. The Writer's Block, Careers, Paths in Comics. This is in room 29AB from 3 till 4. You want to make comics, but how does that work exactly? How do you find work and get projects off the ground? And once you've started, how do you keep going? David Avalone, top dude, did Elvira. He's done loads. He did a really good Edgar Allan Poe thing early on in the year. Ryland Grant, behind Banjax, host of the award-winning Writer's Block podcast, bring together a panel of talented veterans who have taken wildly diverse paths to get their ideas on the page. Richard Fairgrave from Four Color Heroes, Gwynna Beshko from Star Wars Legacy, and Amanda Dybird Staggs from Darkwing Doug. You know what? I might just go along because I've never actually met Amanda face-to-face. I've spoken to her online, but I've never actually spoken to her face-to-face. Tell you their stories and speak honestly about the ins and outs, the highs and lows of a life spent making comics. And that's your Sunday, everybody. Thoughts? What do you think? I would say it's very much like the Friday. It's a way for you to get into your deep dive into your fandom. But if you, I mean, there's one or two noticeable absences. And like I say, there's a lot of the Hollywood and the Entertainment Weekly kind of fandom stuff, which has kind of like not been showcased here. You could have had some television stuff, could have had some maybe a little bit of Hollywood stuff that hasn't been. I mean, yeah, it's kind of you could have even put your Hellboy on it and give it a bit of a showcase, but it's all about print media, creating of a book, creating of a story, creating of anything, and getting deep dive into it. Interesting that's how they programmed it, but that's how they've gone. So your thoughts? What's your thoughts on? I mean, it's the fact that I spent an hour talking about Saturday, and we've now gone into 20 minutes or so, and I think we could pretty much say we're done with Sunday. This is a way for you to just kind of take a reset, look back on the week, see how it's gone for you, and then go onto the exhibition floor, bag yourself a bargain, catch up with your mates, take some great cosplay pictures, head upstairs, see some great panels by some great people who know what they're talking about, but you kind of have to have some kind of in to get into it in the first place. So it's all about being a fan of such interesting and diverse topics. So yeah, I'm also just kind of like scrolling through and seeing kind of any names that are kind of jumping out at me. Okay. Food Network's chef Duff Goldman, Gesture Sang, and celebrity chef Duff Goldman discussing his love for Star Wars fandoms and the changing shape of the culinary world, and what inspires his day-to-day creativity. If I don't have a sandwich by the end of that particular panel, I'd be disappointed. That is going to be Sunday 28, 3 till 4 on the Sunday in Grand 13 and 12, the Marriott Marquis Grand San Diego Marina. Yeah, as pointed out by Patrick, I think I briefly mentioned it, but yeah, the memorial panel of Dwayne McDuffie. I've mentioned it before. Again, you're talking to some people who really know their stuff. Moderator Tamia Dar, so Dwayne McDuffie's social media director and also a member of the Beat. Panel of McDuffie's close friends and colleagues, including Matt Wayne, Eugene Sun, Joseph P. Illich again, and Dwayne's widow, Charlotte Fulton McDuffie, share never before told stories and answer your questions about the legendary co-creator of Milestone Media, producer of Justice League Unlimited, and head writer of Ben 10 Alien Force and Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. He was a legend within the comics industry, and there's a reason why we've got the McDuffies, because he inspired any room that he walked into. I was incredibly lucky when I first started going to San Diego Comic Con. I managed to go to, I think, one of the first panels, and I kind of wandered into it, and Dwayne was there, and I was struck by just how passionate he was about anything that he wanted to talk about. It was a case of lightning in a bottle. He's definitely one of a kind. Room 228 DE, and also Patrick Reed is saying Dennis Cowan has also announced he'll be there for it. That's a busy room. How about that? That's some talent and a half. Okay, cool. Jim Zub, Richard Starkings for Conan: The Battle of the Black Stone. I've never been a massive Conan fan, so if you are a fan, if you are a Conan aficionado, room 29AB from 11 till 12. Okay, I'm kind of milking it now. Again, I think it's safe to say you can go through and see that it is all about deep dive. I mean, Camp Cretaceous and why we love dinosaurs. There you go. A hours panel on dinosaurs. Check it out. Let's have a look in this. How to design costumes for space, theater, and tech. Okay. Yeah. For me, the panels that stand out. Star Trek Prodigy with Kate Mulgrew. Room 60E from 10 till 11. Is that who I think it's going to be? Is I'm going to be there? No, interesting. There's somebody I know who's a big, he's very strong in the proponent for the faith and pop culture. Would have been an interesting person to put into that. I would have guessed he actually submitted the panel himself. Hello. That's some names and a half. This is going to be in room 7AB. Not the biggest room at all. But this is everyday villains. Villains aren't all laughing maniacally in their underground layers. Sometimes there are people we might interact with every day. We have learned that in a big way in the last 24 hours, haven't we? Comic Con special guest, Jerry Conway, Joano Guadagnino, Eric Powell, and Julia Wirtz, and comic creators Sweeney Boo and Lana Kangas, who talk with moderator Jasmine Stone about all about how creators push their characters and themselves. That's a talent-filled room. That's something else. 1 till 2, 7AB might be worthwhile sticking in your diary. And then you've got yourselves Klaus Janson in the room. He's one of the special guests, along with Joe Jusko and Ken Stacey. You got Mike Evanier talking about what it is to put the best and ideal comic cover together. Again, this is going to be in room 7AB from 2 till 3. Interesting stuff. So there you go. There's not a great deal I can talk about that. I am, like I say, milking it a little bit. And I'm sorry if I feel I'm just waffling at this point. But yeah, good stuff. I mean, it's great panels. But after that explosion of stuff that's on Saturday, this year's San Diego Comic-Con does seem to be crests of a wave. I mean, for those that are wanting to get into some of the bigger rooms, and I'm not just talking Hall H, Ballroom 20 Indigo, just any of the other rooms where it's kind of like going to be intense. It's kind of like giving you, if you were going to Comic-Con for the first time, the chance to kind of go and check out these very busy rooms and then have a day where you could just go, well, that was fun, wasn't it? Let's take a breath. And then do it all again tomorrow on the Saturday. And then Sunday, let's just take a breath. It just kind of, it ebbs and flows. It's not full on, but when it is full on, it's intense. It is intense. But it just gives you the, I mean, I will say from start to finish, my observations, number one, anyone who says that comics aren't represented at San Diego Comic-Con is a blithering idiot. I have turned around and done the math, and I'm going to be doing it on this one as well. In the past, where, I mean, when I was, the last time I went 2 years ago, and people were saying, oh, well, yeah, Comic-Con, it's all Hollywood now, isn't it? It's all your films and your television stuff. It's not comics anymore. Back when I mean, so like 5 years ago, it was 72% panels were comics. The last year I went, 2 years ago, it was, I think it was 81% panels about comics and comic-related subjects. Wow. This is incredibly high as well. So number one, anyone who says it's not about comics anymore, don't know what they're talking about. Number two, this schedule and the panel schedule gives you the opportunity to breathe. Yes, you may have to do some investment to get into some of the bigger rooms if you want to attend it, some of the more popular headline-grabbing rooms. But it will then give you the chance to just reflect, step back, go down to the floor, check out Ice Alley, check out a corner, check out an offsite, and just breathe. It ebbs and flows. And it does it in such an intelligent and clever way. The programming team of San Diego Comic-Con are some of the cleverest bunch of people it's been my pleasure to meet. Number 3, all of that being said, some busy rooms on Friday, but only a handful of them. And Sunday, it kind of really takes off the boil, but it gives a real smooth come down to a very intense weekend. It doesn't slap you about. It doesn't have a Doctor Who. It doesn't have a What We Do in the Shadows. It doesn't have a Our Flag Means Death. It doesn't have something that's going to just have you going, oh God, I've got some more bloody queuing up to do. You know what I mean? It's going to be a chance for you to just take a breath, walk in, a little bit of effort, but just walk in. But there's still talent and topics and subjects to see. Andrew English asking the question, do you think they may reduce the days in the future? No. There's still the content there. There's still the content. There's still the content. There's still the topics. There's still the talent in the building. And there's still stuff to sell down on the floor. So let's remember it's a trade show. There is an element of that. So no, I don't think so. You'll stick with the days that you've got. I think you're still going to get your Wednesday for preview night, Thursday through to Sunday. That's Comic-Con. Simple as. Patrick is saying, thank you so much for doing this, Mr. Englishman, a vital service helping us navigate the madness. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. Much appreciated. Too kind. Okay. And I think that's us. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. What is going to happen over the course of the next couple of days? Depending on any further news, and also when it comes to stuff like any additional stuff that's going to be put into the exclusives portal off the back of this. So, for example, additional signings, additional sessions, and additional giveaways. Again, like I say, I'm stunned that there isn't a Borderlands panel. That may be the Thursday. What are they going to do on that Thursday? I'm absolutely beside myself. I want to know what they're doing on that final panel in Hall H. But tomorrow is going to be back to a nice short 10-15 minutes stream. So it's going to be another catching up again. I'm not going to put it on screen, but Fandom Ventures, I think I may be joining you on that one. The missus is going to be at Pride. So, yes, I think if you need someone to hold your hand, I'll come along with you on that one. Yeah, that's us. Back again tomorrow, 10 minutes worth. And it's going to be not as structured as this. It's not going to be bang on 6 o'clock. So it's going to be at some point between 5:30, 6:30, something like that. Talking about exclusive portal, anything that has been added. Don't forget your deadline for the exclusive portal is Thursday. So if you are wanting to get your final allocation for your points, Thursday's the last day to do it. Okay. They may be adding some stuff Monday, Tuesday. We'll keep our eyes open over the course of the next 24 hours. Okay. Tuesday, I am going to be on a train heading to my hotel just outside Manchester Airport. And then on Wednesday, I fly. And I am going to be getting into San Diego for Wednesday night. Wednesday night. It'll be early enough for me to go to In-N-Out, but late enough for me to then just kind of like crash in bed, sleep off the jet lag, and then bright and breezy for Thursday. Thursday, and it's going to be about this time, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., something like that. I'm going to be down in downtown. Okay. If you have somebody who's never been to San Diego Comic-Con before, if you know someone that wants to know a little bit more of the lay of the land, I'm basically going to be going to YouTube and Facebook, doing a live stream basically of the area. So we'll have a look at some of the banners, have a look at some of the initial kind of preparations, possibly stick my head around the door of Sweet Things, do an impromptu interview, considering they keep knocking me back. Just do it, just barge through the door and do an interview. Who knows? But no, Thursday I'll be doing my recce and looking to see what's going on. The Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it may be a case of just kind of like just seeing how the day takes me. Like I say, Fandom Ventures is talking about the CCI committee meeting. We may do something on Sunday, but I will keep your eyes on the social media. Englishman SDCC. There. Follow me on the socials. I'll post something best I can, and yeah, I'll let you know what's going on. Then it's the week. It's San Diego Comic-Con 2024. I will be doing my best to live stream some stuff, depending on signal. Now, I'll be going out using O2, which apparently does still work in the US. I don't know which carrier they're going to be partnering or what the partner carrier is in the US, but I will do my best to live stream the best I can. It will be going to YouTube and Facebook. The idea was it was either going to be YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. I'm going to be sticking with YouTube, Facebook. Instagram, I find, is just too cluttered. And I put the poll out on Threads, and that's what you told me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try it out, certainly, when I do my recce around San Diego on Thursday morning. So there you go. That's the test. Join me 10 a.m. Pacific, San Diego time, as you see this increasingly pink face getting redder and redder and redder. So yeah, that's the timetable for the week. It's going to be a little bit more freewheeling, so please do follow the socials, Englishman SCCC and an Englishman in San Diego on Facebook for any of the updates. And yeah, with 10 days to go, I'm just hoping that you'll stick with us and you'll follow what I do. And yeah, I really desperately hope that you'll enjoy yourself, and I'll enjoy myself, and I'll enjoy bringing you as much as I possibly can from San Diego Comic-Con 2024 with 10 days to go. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If there's any other updates, I will post them on my Threads, Englishman SDCC. Please do follow me on there. And it's been an emotional and a bit of a roller coaster of a couple of days. So all I say to you is, please stay safe, look after one another, stay strong, stay positive, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. Other than that, computer, end simulation.